Creative Care is an arts and healthcare program operated by Creative Clay. It brings professional artists into local healthcare settings. We work with all ages, from pediatric to older individuals. The aim of the program really is to offer healing and respite and holistic care in the healthcare setting.
We have children that have been in the hospital for weeks, sometimes months, and they're missing school. That can have a very negative impact on the confidence of that child. When we come in there and we're doing expressive arts experiences, we're not only doing this expressive experience, we're also bringing the Sunshine State Standards arts education into the picture without them even knowing it. So they're there in the hospital, they're getting an education. We were recognized for this work in 2012 with the National Endowment for the Arts grant. We saw 1,400 children in that 1 year, thanks to the contributions of the NEA and a couple of local community supporters, Perconti Data Systems, as well as Advanced Investment Partners.
If I were to have a message to send to other people about the importance of the Creative Care program, I think that art is one of the vehicles that allows them to be very, very honest in a non-threatening way about what's going on in their own lives, what's happening to their bodies, what's happening to their mental attitudes, what's happening to their relationships with their families and other people as they experience these kinds of things.
Together with the occupational therapist and the physical therapist, we create dance classes for the children.
One day I went into isolation and I met a little 12-year-old girl. She was a tiny little fragile thing. I went over and I said, "Would you like to make a self-portrait?" And she said, "Sure." She got all excited. So then after a little while, the nurse came in and said, "You need to have a treatment now, and you're going to have to go over to your bed." Then the little girl said to the nurse, "Well, can I continue making my art even while I have my treatment?" And the nurse said, "Well, if you want to try, go ahead." So the nurse came over, took her blood and pulse and all of that, and then put a big tube in her mouth that had steam coming out of it. Well, my little artist friend just kept painting. Nothing stopped her. Then the nurse had to put a vest on her, inflated it, and it began to vibrate. This little child was shaking so violently that she had to hold her art hand with her other hand to make sure that the brush stayed still. But the child kept on. She was just painting her little heart out, and she enjoyed herself, and nothing was going to stop her. So this treatment went on for 20 minutes. I have to tell you, it was pretty difficult to watch, but also it was so inspiring. Nothing could come between her and her creativity.
The arts act as a healing agent, and I know that in some cultures the arts are part of rituals and dances and ceremonies in which people are healed or in which people are led through the passages of their life. I think that our culture has missed out on this, and that this program is kind of reestablishing this idea that creativity and creative expression are a means to change one's perceptions about an illness, but also to begin the healing process emotionally and psychologically rather than only physically. The creative urge is universal. It's part of what makes us human, and that in the act of creating, we come closest to being like the Creator.